If you want to be that 1% of day traders who actually make it in day trading, then watch this fucking video. Hey guys, it's Will. Welcome to the channel. I'm a part-time day trader trying to become a full-time. That was a crazy intro, but it's not like I made it yet. But you know, this is one of the reasons why I haven't been profitable. Is this one of the reasons? But it is a major reason because it's something so simple, but I can't fucking stick to it. We currently are in the second week of September, and I did take 2 trades today, and both of them were losers. Last month, it was all green, but it felt really nice. But I know that it's not going to be consistent. I know that I can't always win everything. If you think that you're gonna win 100% every time as a day trader, then this is probably not for you because you can't always be right. Majority of the times, you're not gonna be right all the time. Having an 80% win rate, having 9% win rate is really good, but having a 100% win rate, it's just not realistic. So I knew that eventually I would lose a trade and it wouldn't really hurt. I wouldn't really care because I knew that it was going to happen sooner or later. I am going to break down this week of trading, and then I'll show you guys the differences of why trading is such a mental battle and that you really need to just stick to your plan, honestly. Starting off September 8th, did not take any trades. This was on a Monday. My strategy is the break and retest. So what I do is I look from the previous day. I also look at supply demand levels, and then I chart my levels. So this was the previous day, which was the Friday on the market. This is the Nasdaq, this is ES. What I do is that I chart my previous day's highs and my previous day's lows, which is the green dashed lines for my previous day's highs, my red dashed lines for my previous day's lows. So I mark those out. If it aligns with my other levels, then I'm more interested in taking the play. I also chart off my pre-market high, and it really depends on the charts. So this is my 30-minute chart right now. So then I go to a 2-minute time frame, the market opens, and then we're just in this range right here, and I have this box. I don't ever trade in this box because I like break and retest. I like intraday break and retests. And since we're in the zone, I don't take anything. Later day, it does give you that break and retest on the ES, but this is not the retest I like taking. Although this is the break and the retest. For me, it came with experience on what I like actually seeing. What I like seeing is a bull flag into the retest, or the candles really matter of what happens. And this is not really what I like seeing, so I did not take the trade. And plus, the Nasdaq was just getting close to this previous day's highs, and it didn't really make sense for me to long it. And I just didn't take any trades. Going to Tuesday, I lost $41. In the mornings, I always have these questions and then I answer them. So I look at the charts and I mark out my charts and then I write these. I said that the market is bullish. I said which market is clearest. I either trade the Nasdaq or the ES. So I want to make sure that it aligns with what I like seeing. And then if the Nasdaq is more clear, I take the Nasdaq. If the ES is more clear, then I take the ES. So what I wrote was that NQ looks more clear to the upside, but ES has previous day's highs, but then a pre-market high. To the downside, it looks similar, but probably ES is cleaner. And then later I said, what is my A+ setups? And this is honestly what I want to see happen in the day. If this happens, then I'll take it. Then I ask myself again, if this is clear, then I just write yes. Here's my 30-minute chart. First things first is that I always look at the previous day's levels, and then I chart out my levels. And then I have the previous day's highs here, previous day's lows. Looking at the 2-minute time frame now, and then I just see the market in a zone. So once I see in a zone, I honestly don't trade anything. So I just walk away. Later day, it does fall down, and this was breaking my previous day's lows on the Nasdaq. I like the breakdown, and I got my retest that I wanted, and I took the trade. The only reason why I lost is because I didn't pay attention to the previous day's lows on the ES. It was getting right there, and it held, and that's why I lost. I knew that was there, but I like the Nasdaq chart, so I still took it anyways, and that's the reason why I lost. Sometimes it works, but it really depends on the context of the market. Since the market was just going straight down, it made sense for it to pull back, but I still took the Nasdaq, and although I lost, it's a good loss. I had my proper risk. I had my proper risk reward. I took a small loss. It's normal. All right, showing you guys the live trade. This was what I was doing. I had a stop loss around 25 points, I believe, just above this previous day's lows. And then I was waiting for the proper confirmation that I needed. So at this time, when it was breaking down, the ES was right at this previous day's lows. But I was just expecting it to break, and that's the reason why I lost in that trade. I'm looking for my 3-to-1 like usual, and I'm looking at the bigger time frames to see how far it can go, or if it makes sense or not. And then I'm gonna fast forward this. I'm waiting for the candle to actually break this low so that I have more confirmation. That's why I'm putting it right at this low right here. And then it's still retesting it, so I'm liking that more because it's giving more time to retest the level. And if it's still rejecting, then I like it. I knew that the ES was still like holding off this level, but I thought it can just break down and it could keep going down. But for this instance, I should have waited for the ES to break down more and actually reject this level right here. And then I should have taken the ES instead, not the Nasdaq. Fast forwarding more, and then once I see the candle actually break down like this, it broke down that candle, and then I took the trade right there, and I put my stop loss just above the previous day's lows, and I was risking about, I think 20 points to be honest, so actually not that much. It looks like it's working, but the ES again just held right there and Later, it just brought the market up, and then I just took my loss of $41, and that was it for this trade. So this trade, I lost $41. It's normal. I lost less than what I normally risk, because normally I risk about $50 to $60, and it's fine. It took a good loss because it's following my system. It's following my plan. I wanted to break this previous day's lows, and I'll take it for the trade. I followed exactly what I wanted to see, but I just didn't read the market right because I didn't wait for the ES to break, and that's fine. I can learn from that. But it's normal. I'm not always going to win, right? And then if I look back on my game plan, if you look what I have right here, it says which market is the clearest. I said to the downside, it looks similar, but probably ES is clear. It's more clear, right? So when I go back to the 30-minute time frame and I show you guys, this is why I thought it was more clear. You see how there was a previous day's lows on the NASDAQ, but then this level right here is kind of choppy, but I still have it as my previous day's lows. But when you look at the ES, clear that is. It rejects right there, rejects, and then it's not exactly holding here, but it's showing that there's more. This level on the ES is just more clear. That's why I said if there was a downside, the ES is more clear. So that's probably why I should have waited for the ES to break, and then I'll have taken the trade. I just like the NASDAQ, I saw something happen, and I just tried taking the trade. But that's just a mistake. I can always fix that in the future, but it's still a good loss because I had proper risk management. Going to Wednesday now, right here is the previous days, and then I always make sure that I have the previous day's highs and the previous day's lows marked out, and these are my levels that I had. What I see again in the 2-minute time frame is that the market is in a range again, so I don't do anything. And it's funny how there was a trade actually on the NASDAQ once it broke this previous day's highs. It broke down here and it gave that retest, and that would have been a trade. But this time was around 2 p.m. so that was pretty late, and I don't trade that time, but this was a setup that I would take if it was during the hours that I trade. So it sucks, but I can't do anything about it. Going to Thursday now, this is today. I did lose $32, and I did take 2 trades. The first trade was a break even. I won $2.50, nothing crazy. I did re-enter the trade, and the first trade was a break even, then later I entered again because I thought there was more confirmation. But I'm gonna show you guys my game plan and show you guys why I lost today. What I said was that the market is bullish. I said which market is the clearest, ES, and then I said NASDAQ is messy. And then the A+ strategy today was a break and retest long over previous day's highs, pre-market highs, and this is also the all-time highs. And then if it was a short, I said break and retest short under previous day's lows on ES. Showing you guys the charts now, this is a 30-minute time frame. We are in this zone right here. Why did I take a trade? But I did say ES was more clear. The ES did break above this level. It did break above, and I could have got a retest, but I didn't even lose there. Here's my 2-minute time frames, and this was the break and retest that I was waiting for, right? And I did not get a retest, so there shouldn't be any trade. But what I did instead was that I just took this trade right here. You see how it rejected? It came up and it was rejecting the previous day's highs. So then I took the trade right there. I exited the trade because I knew that it wasn't following my game plan, but I took the trade anyways. During this week, I seen that there was a potential supply rejection, and there was trades like these. And also, I haven't been taking a lot of trades recently. So I just felt like maybe this can play, maybe this can work. And then I take the trade, and then I get out immediately after I realized that maybe this trade is not going to work because it's not following my game plan. And I normally don't take these trades, so I got out for a break even. Later on, it slides up, and I was like, maybe it still needs more retest, and if there's a better retest, I can take the trade. After it started going up here, it started coming up, it started rejecting, and then I took the trade again because I thought maybe the NASDAQ can just slide up and then reject more because it's still rejecting the previous highs as well. And that's why I took the trade, and then I just lost. There's really no point in showing the live trade, but I did lose about $32, and it sucks. And this is why trading is honestly a mental battle. It's because why did I take the trade if it's not following my system? I think it's because the past couple weeks I haven't been trading a lot. So when I seen something and maybe it's there, I took the trade. But that's the reason why I'm gonna be the 90% of traders who fail, because I'm not following my plan. I have to follow my plan and system, and it's so easy to do. All you have to do is literally just stick to the straight line that's been drawn out to you. But what I do, I just go through different paths, I go through different lanes for fucking no reason. And that's why I lost today. Maybe it did work out, but then later I'll be taking all these stupid trades again. Why am I even doing this to myself? I know what I have to do, I know my game plan, and I had to follow my game plan. It's like you have a strategy. Let's say I have the break and retest. That's what I always do. Then one day I just feel like doing supply and demand because I see a setup, but I normally don't take these setups. So then I do it anyways because I want to take more trades, and then later I lose. I know this is not my system. I know this is not a consistent profitable system because I haven't been doing it, and there's no data that backs it up. So, but I take it anyways, right? And then later I go back to my normal trading. I'm doing good. Then later I have no trades. I'm not taking any trades. Then later I feel like taking a random system or a strategy because I see it and I haven't been doing anything recently or for a while. Then I take the system, I take the strategy, and I fucking lose again. And then I just keep going on this random cycle. But that's good I'm able to point it out, because I know that what I said earlier, or what I said in my past couple videos, that it sucks I haven't been taking trades, but I know that I have to just stick to my system because this is what's working for me. I know that I'm not able to take a lot of trades, but once I see my trade, I take it because I'm very confident in the trade and it works for me. So I just gotta wait for my system and then I take it. But if I do things like this, I'm gonna keep losing and I'm just gonna keep going back to failing, and I don't wanna be that 90% of traders who fail trading. So this week I'm down about $70, 72, 73, something like that, and it sucks, but you know, I already knew I'm gonna lose like a trade eventually. This day, the $41 loss is normal. I followed my plan, I followed my system. That's fine. I took a good loss because I can learn from it, and it's following my system. Today did not follow anything, and I just deviated from my game plan, and I just took a trade or a strategy that's normally not what I like doing. Then I lost. That is not a good loss. That's a bad loss because I'm not following my rules. We do have one more trading day tomorrow, which is Friday, so it's still early to say anything, but I am down this week. And honestly, it feels different because before, when I used to lose trades, I'm like, I get mad. You know, everyone gets mad of losing. No one likes losing. But I feel fine with it because I know my strategy is profitable. I know it's going to be consistent. All I got to do is follow my plan, follow my system, and just keep staying with it. Keep sticking to it. And I know that I have a good risk reward. So I just need a lot of trades. And over those trades, I know that I don't need a 100% win rate. And that since my risk reward is 3-to-1, all I need is one trade to take out these losses. But what I gotta do is follow my system, have proper risk management, and I'll be good. I used to get a little more annoyed from losing. It's normal to lose and just get mad, but it's only in a week. I'm starting to think long term. I'm starting to think like, okay, if I'm gonna be profitable in a month, I don't care about the week because I can be down for 3 weeks and then win 1 week and I'm back to being green. It's not even that now. I'm thinking more long term, like quarters and like a year, because I know that I can be green for a month and later lose, or like be very close to break even, then later the next month I win. I don't know, it's just a different feeling. I think it's because I have a better system and I know what I'm capable of doing. So I think and I believe that I can be consistent. But obviously this trade today was not good, and it's just, you know, pointing it out to me that I know that I can't be doing this and I gotta stay with my system. And like I said, trading is a mental battle. Instead of thinking about winning the battle, like let's say winning this week and winning this trade, I can just keep taking trades and then just keep losing. But then my P&L is gonna get worse. I'm gonna just go on tilt and just keep losing more and more for no fucking reason. So instead of thinking like that, think as I can lose this battle today, I can lose this battle for this week, but I'm gonna win the war. If your system is good and you have a good risk reward, you have good risk management, know that it's fine to take losses. You don't have to always win to be good. You don't always have to win the war, but just take the battle as a learning lesson so you can keep improving. Maybe I could be thinking like this because I'm paper trading. It's not real money, right? But I know that when I go back to my live trading, it's going to be the same thing. It's also smaller losses than what I normally take, because I would risk $50, I risk $60. So these two trades almost feels like a one trade loss. Losing is a part of my journey, and that it's very normal to lose. If I can deal with my losses, then honestly, that's a win, because I'm not going to keep taking a lot of these random trades and just stacking my losses for no reason. If you're able to be a good loser, then in the end, you can be a great winner. If I'm just looking at this week, there was actually no trades for my system and strategy, except for the Wednesday that I showed you guys, but it did happen later day. So far, this is my week, and we have one more trading day tomorrow, and we'll see if I take any more trades. And what I like to say is how you do one thing is how you do everything. Keep staying disciplined, keep staying consistent, and let's just get 1% better every day, and I'll see you in the next one.